custom scent design as a transformational tool for intention setting and personal evolution. A former master art educator with degrees from Bank Street College and Parsons School of Design, she brings narrative-based teaching and 30-plus years of study in herbal and holistic medicine to her practice in Chesterfield, Missouri. Drawing from her own transformative journey, Sheva creates bespoke scent anchors that help people rewire limiting patterns, automate intention, and manifest their most authentic goals. So you got some big shoes to fill as you come up here. You ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. You were born ready. Welcome, Sheva Pincus.
Thank you, Kelly, for, talking about my worst fears right beforehand.
Everything's easy from here. Come on.
So, yeah, that's what, so because of all the things Kelly was talking about, I have my aroma anchors. I'll tell you more about that in a second, but Happy New Year, everyone. How many of you made New Year's resolutions this year so far? How many of you know what your goals are going to be this year? And if you don't, or if you're still wanting to add some more, you need to be at Joy of Goals, which is on the date of, save the date, right, Karen? January 24th. See you there. So what I'm going to talk about is what's going to happen after you get those goals accomplished. And, but first I want to ask you, after you have those goals set, has anyone at this point so far fallen off the wagon or usurped your goal or sabotaged it in any way, shape, or form yet?
Not yet, but I've done it before.
Wow, you guys are stellar visioners.
We haven't been Quitters Friday yet.
Okay, right, a few more days. Okay, but what I want to talk about is, imagine that, it just snowed, and you are, the tow trucks haven't come and cleared the snow off of your neighborhood yet. And maybe like 7 cars have driven down the street. So you have this really nice trench that your car is going down, really easy peasy. But then you realize you need to make a left-hand turn, and no cars have gone there yet. So you can't go with the same easy peasy demeanor you've been driving down that street. You have to brace yourself. You have to hold that wheel really hard, strengthen your leg muscle, and floor it, because you know it's going to take that much effort to carve a new path and get out of that trench. That's what happens when we are trying to create a new goal, when we're trying to create a new habit, when we're trying to change our mindset or get a new perception. So I think about that groove, that trench. That's the automatic part of your brain. For better or for worse, that's where things are easy. That's where you know that you are, that's where you're living 90% of your thoughts, is in that snow trench. So, new ideas, new thoughts, new perceptions, new intentions, new goals, that's all in the prefrontal cortex here. And that is slippery. It's very easy to slide around. There was one time where I was trying to get out of a snow trench, and I actually had to get out of my car and dig in order for my wheel to get some traction. Has anyone ever had to do that? Yep. To get their car to move? So, welcome to Midwest winters. But, and maybe thanks to global warming, we won't experience this again. But one of the things that I know that I deal with is, weaving, doing the Trump thing. Okay, yesterday, I was so excited. I was watching the ice skating, the figure skating on TV. And it reminded me of how much I loved figure skating when I was a little girl. And by the way, it's in St. Louis this year, the national championship. And but my dream was cut short, because once I realized how much I loved figure skating, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So those dreams kind of came to an end. And what I had to do was tap into the things I was learning with ice skating. How it just seemed so, just everyday things like getting out of bed, walking, doing my physical therapy, keep my hands moving. There were so many days as a child, as a teen, but even more so as an adult. Like once some new biological medications came out in year 2000, my life changed. Things got so much easier. But then I hit a wall, 2008. I had to stop my life. It was just a big bad blue song kind of situation. I had to stop my career, teaching, lost my house, lost my money, lost my marriage, lost my friends, moved back to St. Louis from Phoenix, where I lived for 20 years, and start all over again. And it took about 10 years to build my life back. This was not a linear path. Some years got good, and then something would happen, and a surgery, or perhaps I would get thrown off by a family member that got me back into that snow groove that I wanted so badly to get out of. And I had to go back to what I saw those Olympians doing that inspired me so much as a child. What seemed so unlikely. How do you balance yourself on a single blade on slippery material? That slippery material, that's your prefrontal cortex. That's where thoughts don't stick, but it takes Olympic, Herculean effort to make it happen. It's the practice, it's the repetition, it's the mental rehearsal, it's the mantras. It is not just willpower, but it is taking something that is supposed to be slippery and impossible to be doing, backflips and aerials and all those things, and rewire it so now it's in the automatic part of the brain. So what I do, and what happened, and what I discovered when I was here in St. Louis and I had a big fall, like a big one, I found myself a few days out of surgery, and okay, let me skip that straight. One of the things that I needed to do post-surgery, and I'm gonna speed up a few years, is I had to get off really, really high levels of long-acting pain medication. And so what I had to do was really shift my mindset. Like, wait, so doctor, you're telling me this medication you have put me on, they don't make it anymore, and I need to get off of it ASAP, and my life is gonna be better when I'm off the pain meds? Like, so I had to somehow envision a future where I would feel better, and my life would be better. But there was no proof of it. Like, I was in pain. The pain meds helped me feel better, even though they're not making it anymore. But there was nothing to take its place. I just had to get off of it. And this is where I needed something stronger. I needed something that could be louder than the pain, louder than the fear response, louder than you're not gonna be able to make it. But I did. And I created a scent because I was using essential oils at the time. And I thought about, tell me Tell me, Sheva, tell me a story when you felt so capable, when your life was functioning, when things were easy, when you were in that groove, when you were in the trench and life didn't take effort. And so I thought about when I was cooking breakfast and I would use basil. So I got some basil, put it on a cotton ball, put it in a little Ziploc bag, and I kept it in my car. So every time I would go and visit a particular family member, I would smell it and remember, oh yes, that's who I am, that's what I believe in. It told this whole story of this vision board in one whiff. Like a whole book, a whole novel of what I wanted my future to look like. It was like a poem. And this ended up becoming an anchor and a pattern interrupt. And so that's what Perfuming Intentions does. We help you take the vision that you have for your future. Maybe it's complicated, maybe it's easy, maybe it's singular, maybe it has different steps. But that's not just the important part, because, okay, so what we do is we'll take the beautiful adjectives and give it a scent correlation. And we will take the top notes and make it the beginning of the story, and the middle notes, and make that what you're doing to get there, and the base notes, what happens when you've arrived. And then talk about the saboteurs. What's gonna happen when it gets in the way? So while I'm talking also, if you wanna scan this QR code here, this is gonna take you to a form that you can click on some of, yes, you can, we'll go back to that in just a second, but if you click on it, it'll take you to a page where, and maybe Felicia can scroll up a little bit, like the other way, sorry, down, I mean, yeah. And it'll give you, I'm giving you a 50% off a Perfuming Intentions package. So if you do want to create an aromatic story and create a scent anchor to remind you of who you are, where you want to go, and where you want to be, and be able to interrupt that pattern, this form will, thanks to Matt, I have also learned how to do these automations. So it should send you an automatic email, and that email will give you that coupon code. Normally they go for $6.50 because it's like 5 coaching sessions, and we really get into the weeds of what are the saboteurs, have 3 strategies. This one, for example, when I had to restructure and remember who I am and where I'm going, I have this scent stick by my bed, by my pillow, because I tend to ruminate right before I go to sleep. Okay, so that's one. I have another one around my neck, so every time I think a negative thought, I remember my scent. And then, of course, I also, when I do my meditation, I roll it on, I spray it on. We can do car diffusers, or have it in different places so that you are prepared, you're proactive. This is your mantra as an aroma format. And so if you want to go to that QR code again, it's on the slide itself. Yeah. So I'd like to know, of course, as Perfuming Intentions, if you've known me for a while, you know I offer other things with chakras and sensory resets and perfume parties. By the way, everybody also has a flyer on Valentine's Day. I'm doing a Galentine's from 1 to 2:30 on that Saturday, and then I have 2 sessions after for Valentine, romantic, scent creations with your partner. And this is really, really an amazing rate, because usually it's that much for one person. So I would just love to hear any questions you might have about goal setting or preventing sabotage, because I believe that it's important to anchor your vision, and sabotage proof your goals. And that is all possible through scent. Because scent memory can be learned through repetition, and it resides in that same part of the brain as fear. So give it an apples to apples power. So life can be easy to get to accomplishing that dream. So, thank you. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna need the talking stick. I'm gonna need a microphone.
That